So, and you're building teams in order to execute on work. How can resource planning help that and help with from the tactical side, but then also what are you doing behind the scenes too to make sure like, hey, these two people don't work well together, they're always butting heads, but like this is what's happening. So how are you balancing that?
So I'm going to go back to the anecdotal story that I told you. I have had teams. So again, I try to be a really good listener. If I turned my camera, which will upset the apple cart, you would see a couch in my workspace here that we call the blue couch at my a roll along a bit ago. But people would come in and tell me what's going on with them and how irritated they are at their neighbor in their space. And I did have two super duper creative people with way more similarities that either of them wanted to take a look at the time. And I had to move them both. And we worked in a big pool, like everybody in a big open space, more or less. And they just could not be near each other. And I started really listening to what was going on with both of them and the whining, if you will, which I'm a mom. I'm like, they used to call me a house mom. I'm like very maternal about it. Listening. And then to me, I use some principles of like, why do you think they do that? Like, why do you think they're doing that? Like, while I'm listening, I'm asking, I'm probing. And ultimately I did assign these two people to a project together, but I asked them to set aside, which is what I try to do. There are tons of people out there. I'm like, ew, they have lots of icks, I got to work with them all. I don't have to love you. I have to be good to you while I'm working with you. I have to be cordial. I have to be like modest amount of professionalism, which I need to struggle out. But, but there are a lot of things I set aside. I don't like her diction. I don't like the way she delivers information. I think her emails are rude, whatever they are. But I asked them both to set aside what they thought was irritating about each other. Like just simple terms individually with each of them separately. And then I put them together on a project and they partnered for some time. And the three of us get dinner together pretty regularly. Now they are thick as thieves. And I think if I'm remembering correctly, the two of them actually grew up like maybe not 5 miles from each other on the East Coast. But the two of them, they literally could not stand each other.
Yeah.
And
well, it's funny too that you bring up like they had more in common than they did differently. So I know. And it's just like, honestly, like when I think about some of the people where I'm like, all right, this is a struggle to work with them. That is why. Like, that is honestly
these are
why.
Both like super amazing humans too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like super amazing humans. It's, to me as the relationship management piece that people never talk about in resource management, because it always gets handed to like HR type things. I mean, this was never an HR thing, FYI. It was definitely just like, gosh, there's just two really talented people, and I think the way they rub each other would make great work. That relationship management, especially because we work in teams, mostly in creative development. And it's good. I think that having someone strike down a dumb idea from you because of things that you hadn't thought of is super important. And so like being able to trust your partner, helping them build that was kind of amazing. And then like once they were in the pool together, I mean, I didn't have to do anything. It was like, oh, wait, I set aside that I don't like the way they do this and I don't like the way they do that. And suddenly I could see all the things that were great about each other, Yeah, it's like, you can see I get like all puffed up, not like prideful about it, but like, it's cool to like bring people into relationship. It's kind of rad.